film.
Hi guys, how are you? Oh,
I'm frustrated.
what's going on, Joe?
Feeling alone, even though I'm in a couple. She never talks to me. She's never home.
I'm always home. I am.
No, you're not.
I am. Like, around bedtime, I guess.
But I was home alone all night last night.
I have to work.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Joe, I'm picking up the tone in your voice, and I can see it's really, really down. Can you think of a word that you can associate with how you're feeling?
Alone.
Okay. And what does that look like?
Alone. I feel like the worst of both worlds. I'm in a couple, and I have all the obligations of a couple, but I don't need the company of a couple.
How long have you been feeling like this?
About 6 months.
When you say you don't have the company of a couple, what things would you like to see in your relationship?
I like just more nights at home together.
We spent a night together, on Monday. It was great.
Yeah, now it's Friday, and I'm still feeling alone.
I went out with my friends, I told you, I have to go out with my friends. I like to go out with my friends and hang out. I go out with my coworkers. You're always welcome to come, but you want to stay at home. I don't want to be at home. I need to be out in the world.
I have everything I want at home. I have plenty to do. There's a ton on Netflix. We have games. Why do we have to go out?
To be with my friends.
But some of your friends don't include me. I just feel like if you talk to all your friends and I'm there in the corner just waiting for you guys to have your conversations.
We always include you.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do. You always walk away or go sit at the bar or go sit in the car.
It's because I'm just in the circle where you guys talk about the gossip of what happened at work and what happened between your friends.
Let me try to include you with our little gossip.
So, Sasha, if we could backtrack just a little bit, when you heard that Joe was feeling alone in the relationship, how did you feel when you heard that?
I feel like it's not true. He's not alone. I'm here. I invite him out. When I'm home, we, have dinner, watch Netflix.
So when you guys are feeling connected, what does that look like? What does it look like to feel connected in your relationship?
Just being on the same page. I mean, we don't really have the same taste in shows, but we find something in compromise. So it's always good to watch a show that we've compromised on, or watch a movie, or eat a really good dinner, and talk about our day together sometimes. That's usually what we do when we are together.
I guess. But I still feel alone. Because it's so rare. I mean, I'm supposed to spend more time with you.
We do.
Can I ask, excuse me, what has happened? Joe, you said it's been about 6 months. And you guys have been married for how long?
About 5 years.
So, if we can go back to the 6 months, what happened? Did something happen? Was it a different job? Did the dynamic change? The reason for the you experiencing the loneliness?
Well, my job just started going badly. I went from a job I liked, and then there was a reorganization at my company, and I got a different role, and now I'm kind of disengaged at work, so I'm bored at work, and I got moved away from all my friends at work, so I feel alone, and I don't know. I just needed her more.
So you're feeling lonely both at work and at home. And would you say that the loneliness in both of those locations are aggravating each other, increasing the intensity of that.
Yeah.
So Sasha, when you found out about the whole reorganization with Joe at work, were you there to, kind of like offer up the support with him, after everything that had happened?
I was, and then I ended up at my job. I got promoted, and I believe it kind of, the tables turned. Because at one point he was constantly out with his coworkers, and when I got the promotion, it just kind of, I took on a whole new role, and I think I just took on a whole new life as well. Started going out more with coworkers and wanted to hang out more. He was constantly just in a slump, he wouldn't really want to do anything at first, and so I would try to include him, and it was always be at home, and it was just kind of like, I didn't want to be at home. I just wanted to be out in the world.
So before your promotion, before, as you said, the tables turned, were you having feelings of aloneness too, while he was busy, or were you guys feeling more stable, more connected?
No, more connected, because at the time we would always do things, his company would have little parties and we would go together, and I figured when everything shifted that it would be the same thing. We would go do my company events and hang out, and now it's just kind of like he doesn't want to, so I just go.
I just feel like kind of a big third wheel when I go to company events. Like everybody knows everybody else except me, and I'm just there alone.
So is this both at your company and at Sasha's company, or just mainly at hers?
Just mainly at hers.
Okay.
And I try to incorporate him. I try to get him to show up and come and get him to talk to people and get him to mingle, and he doesn't want to. I don't just bring him, make him sit at the table. I try to incorporate him and get him to, talk about, just meet friends at my company. Even, I even wanted him to work within my company, but I know, that's not his particular forte, so I know that he wouldn't like, what I do, which I understand that. But I do try to get him involved with my coworkers so that he doesn't feel left out.
So it sounds like Joe is struggling to integrate into the life and the social and professional groups that you really like. How does that make you feel when you can't integrate work and home life?
It just feels, I feel confused because I feel like I was able to do it, when it came to him and his company. I was able to mingle with his coworkers, whether they liked me or not. I was able to, show up and fit in, even if I was in a bad spot. And now it's like he doesn't want to do the same.
So it sounds like you were proud of your ability to be flexible and adaptable, and you're frustrated with Joe that he's not adapting in the same way that you worked really hard to do. Joe, how does it feel when you hear about Sasha's frustration?
I just feel sad and just wanted a little more help and support. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
So Joe, in addition to feeling alone, is there anything, are you feeling, is there something else in addition to that that you're experiencing, that you're feeling, with the whole change, with your current position, not being around your coworkers and the things at home? So
I just feel worthless. I feel like I went from being really important and into everything, and now I just feel like I'm trying to crack in something meaningless by myself all day. And it's just so frustrating for me.
So you're having a serious crisis of confidence and a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
And feelings of poor self-worth.
Yeah.
So those are a lot. Those are huge feelings to deal with. How do you think that's impacting your everyday life?
Well, I don't know, maybe I've just been kind of a sad sack. I don't know.
Sasha, did you know he was going through this?
I did, and I had even told him around when everything changed. I even told him to, find another job. I mean, I was willing to let him go back to school to find something he liked, or even quit that particular job until he found what he could, love again, be passionate about. And he just chooses to stay at that company with those people. They're just, now and they are awful people. And I told him, you can just quit, we're good financially, and you can quit and find something that that you'll love. And it's just, he just doesn't want to do that. And I don't want to be in the slump too, because if we're both in the slump, then I'm not going to perform well at work, and then it's just going to be a nightmare. Who wants that?
Yeah, it's been hard for me. I don't know, I just feel trapped. I've been there so long that I don't feel like I can't get out. Nobody else is going to want me.
That's not true.
So you're fearing rejection. Are you fearing rejection both at work and at home?
Yes. Well, I'm feeling rejected at home, and I'm fearing rejection at work.
How does that, how do you move day to day feeling like that? And let me be a little more specific. So when you feeling that way, when you get up in the morning, is your routine the same? Have you changed your routine?
I'm just slower getting to work, slower getting everything together. It's just a mess.
So feeling rejected, that's a really terrifying emotion for human beings. That sounds like it's affecting you pretty intensively. Are there things that are there things that would help lessen this feeling, that could help reduce it?
Just feeling successful at something. Just feeling loved at home.
That's why I push you to find what you love again. I know that job sucks now. I know it does. Ever since they changed the position and they brought in the new management, and I know that, I know for a fact, if you were to find something different, leave that place, find something different, it would, if anything, it would definitely change your attitude, your dynamic. That job is a black hole, and I don't want you to feel like you have to be stuck there. And that's why I've been telling you that since it happened. And of course, I know they give you that thought process of, oh, if you leave, you'll be nothing. No. They're just horrible people.
So, Sasha, it sounds like you have a lot of really good ideas, a lot of really good pragmatic ideas for how Joe could approach his work situation and some of those feelings. But let me ask you this though: have you sort of sat and listened to sort of the feelings behind all of that?
No, I mean, he's never brought them to me like this. Usually it's just, I want you to be at home, but never knew the deeper issue to it.
Maybe we could try this. Joe, would you mind turning towards Sasha and looking her in the eye and telling her what you just shared with Sarah and I about your feelings?
I feel rejected when you're never home. I feel stuck. I feel like I really need you right now and you're not there.
I just feel like he doesn't want me to have fun. I feel like when you tell me that, you don't want me to have fun. You don't want me to, enjoy life. Just I'm a party girl.
So what you're saying is that when Joe is in the dark place that he's in, that it makes it harder for you to have fun and to do things that make your quality of life good. You want to tell him that?
Yeah, just when you try to, I don't know, take my fun away, it just feels like you just want me to be in a dark place with you. You know, that you don't want me to have fun, enjoy life, enjoy what I worked hard to accomplish.
Do you have any reaction to what Sarah just told you, Joe? Sasha, I'm sorry.
I guess I feel that you're saying your fun is more important than me.
No, and I want you to have fun with me. We used to have fun together all the time. That's what I want back. I want us to be able to have fun again together. We used to go out to the club and just shots all night. You know, just fun. And then 6 months ago, it's just like, what, that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing. Like, who do I have now?
I guess maybe I'm just depressed.
It's that job. I mean, I know I guess I can make some changes. I don't know. But I know it's that job.
But I have to work.
But I told you, I mean, we're good financially, so even if you quit and found what you loved, it would be better. I know it.
Maybe, Joe, could you talk a little bit more? Could you explain to all of us why you feel like you need to work? What working does for you?
Because, for one, I feel it would be worse if I just sat around the house all day. And two, I feel like we need the money. I'm not sure we're really okay financially on one income. And yeah, and it's just, I work, it's who I am. I've always done this kind of work, and I don't feel right not doing it.
Well, why don't you go part-time and try to find the same job, well, not currently what you're doing, because I know you don't like it, but find what you were doing before full-time. I mean, you know,
It just sounds hard.
it's not hard. Just like, get out there and just knock doors in. Okay, not like that, but you know, you can do it. I mean, look at me, I was at my company for, what, I don't know, 8 years before I got that promotion. And I kept getting passed up and passed up. I know you can do it. I just want it to be fun again. I miss it.
I do, and I'm much happier when I'm excited about my job.
So Joe, what do you need from Sasha to maybe help move you to doing something different? And that doing something different could be maybe finding another job, or starting to enjoy life again. Because I mean, I see you all do have a really good connection, and I can see the root of what's going on. So what would that look like for you to kind of help you, with being upset, the loneliness, how she could help you with that?
Just more time together. And I know it's hard, and maybe I need to try hanging out with your friends, or maybe we need to, I'm feeling like I'm kind of aging out of going out for shots and to the bar. Maybe find another friend I feel.
So what would quality time together to you look like?
Just doing something fun together. I mean, something we both genuinely enjoy.
Would that be alone? Would you guys be one-on-one or with other people?
Maybe other couples. I think it's kind of because weird to be a couple with a bunch of single people.
So around other single people, you feel less connected to Sasha.
Most of the coworkers are single. Just fun. Just part of it.
So, what, Sasha, hearing that, what kind of things would you like to do that would be both fun, but maybe not with your coworkers, that would also engage Joe?
I mean, there's like little, I guess there's like those little bars where you can like have dinner and dance, and it's not really, it's not, it's also like couples friendly, I guess to do that, where I can still kind of get that party feeling, party mode, but, it's not a whole bunch of single people running around.
Do you all have friends that, that you've gone out with, like to dinner, dancing, stuff like that maybe you could reconnect with?
For me, no. Most people at my job are all single, single and pretty younger. I know most of his coworkers, before his job changed, most of them were married, and that's probably why we were able to really get along. But then, of course, when that whole dynamic changed, you lose those friends for some reason. Don't know why.
When you hear that Joe is lonely and going out with you and your single friends, does that make sense to you? Do you sort of see where he's coming from?
And no, I just thought he was just isolating himself, because I would always, try to include him, try to get him to join in on the conversation, just enjoy himself, and he wouldn't. So feeling alone, I feel he was just doing that purposely because he didn't want to be there.
So you think sometimes he's making himself feel more alone than he needs to be. Do you feel him try to, do you see ways in which he's trying to connect with you, either at home or while you guys are out?
No. We would just always like stay home or let's watch this movie, and then there's just really there's no middle. It's just kind of like a beginning and an end. No middle as to, okay, you want me to stay home, but what's the plan? There's never really a solid plan. I don't want to just not go out and not have a plan, if I'm going to stay home.
So Joe, when you're feeling alone and you would like to connect to Sasha more, what sort of plan would you make? Maybe staying at home, but what kinds of stuff would you put into place so that it would both meet your emotional needs, but also hers?
We could get out a bottle of something and, play games, or we could watch. I think we need to watch less TV, because I don't think even goes with connectors staring at the same screen as men.
Yeah.
More quality. Maybe we focus on more quality time together, common activity.
Sasha, how does that feel? How does that make you feel, Joe wanting to try something different for you all to connect?
I would be willing to give it a shot, as long as, the plan stays. There is a solid plan. I understand plans change, but as long as the plan stays pretty much solid and doesn't change, I'm willing. Because if there's no solid plan, if the plan diverts, I'm going to put on my little dress and heels and go out with my friends. Party?
Yeah, I just lost interest in partying as I got a little older.
I don't know why, it's so fun. The music, the lights, it's just fun.
I don't like it because when the music's really loud and I can't talk to anybody, I just kind of feel alone.
You just dance. You go out, get on there before you dance.
I don't know.
I used to do it all the time.
Yeah. I don't know why I lost interest in it. Maybe I'm just depressed. I guess I hear when you're depressed, you lose interest in everything.
So when you brought up depression a few times, what feelings that you're having right now make you think that you might be depressed?
I feel stuck, hopeless, tired all the time. I just don't want to do anything. I just feel sad.
Would you add disconnected into that mix?
Yeah. I feel disconnected from two things I used to be most connected to were her and my job, and now I feel disconnected.
I'm still here.
So is my job, I guess.
Job's a nightmare.
So it sounds like maybe the pattern that's happening is Joe gets more and more sad, and while he does that, you're getting more frustrated that he's retreating. And to deal with that frustration, you start going out more with your friends and start pulling away and saying, you know, fine, if you don't want to do fun things, then I will do them without you. Which then makes you feel even more alone. So it's sort of move away, and it feels like you're moving away from each other. Are you, Joe, is there any way that you, like, are you trying at all to reach out to Sasha during those times when you're struggling?
Now that you say it, I don't think so.
Can you feel that he's not reaching out to you?
Yeah. Yes, it's always just stay home. And I'm like, okay, why? Or okay, what are we gonna do? And then nothing.
And did he used to reach out to you?
Yeah, but yeah, we used to always, like I said, reach out, and we, even beforehand, if we would stay in, we would do stuff. And it just seemed like it was always stay home, but then, okay, if I stay home, what's the plan?
So it sounds like in order for you not to be lonely and feel connections, you're going outside of the relationship to find fun and support.
Yes.
And the things that you used to get inside your relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How does that make you feel, Joe?
It makes me feel less needed. That when she goes out of a relationship for the stuff she's finding within the relationship. That also makes me feel sad.
So, Joe, did your loneliness gradually happen over a period of time? So when everything with the job and everything that happened 6 months ago, it wasn't like you just kind of got in a slump. It actually, things kind of gradually fell out. So after that, after the whole job thing happened, where did the disconnection come into play between you and Sasha, where you went from doing things together, you know, going out, having a nice time, enjoying one another's company, to where you, in a sense, kind of started going down the road and became lonely?
Yeah. It was just, I guess I started retreating. I guess that made me, now that you're thinking about it, I've kind of retreated from my own friends a bit. And I've just become unhelpful.
Yeah, that is true.
Have your friends, the friends that you work with, that you guys had a really good connection, and the whole dynamic changed, and they got moved to a different section, because correct me if I'm wrong, they still work there. You guys just basically don't work together anymore. So, what is your relationship like with them?
I just don't talk to them as much. I don't know.
Some of them want to. I see a few of them out. I've seen Brad and Greg out, and they always ask about you, and I'm like, he's at home. He's at home. Always. They've always asked about you. And then I think just after a while, I think they're just kind of like, we don't know what to do. That's why I tried to get you to come out a few times, because sometimes they'll even be at some of the clubs that I go to with my friends or my coworkers, and then you don't want to go out, and so they're still trying to keep some type of friendship with you. And now again, I don't know about the other, but I do know for a fact Brad and Greg have tried to stay connected with you. I don't know if they've called you or texted you, but I know I've seen them out.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to be at home. I don't know why. I just wanted to be at home lately.
When you stay home and you get the time, you get the time at home that you're saying you want, do you feel better afterwards? Does it relieve the loneliness?
No.
So when you stay at home, you don't feel less depressed. Would you say you feel more depressed?
I guess.
Or the same amount?
Maybe the same.
So is there a moment in time, is there an activity or a relationship or anything that makes you feel actively less depressed?
Sometimes riding my bike. Sometimes building things.
And are you doing those very often?
Not as often as I should.
So then, Sasha, after he rides his bike, do you see him feeling better?
A little bit.
And is he easier to engage with?
Yeah, he's a little more
Sometimes.
talkative sometimes. I know when he used to build stuff, he'd spend hours upon hours building. That he was more engaging with the building than the bike riding. But now he just doesn't build at all that I know of. I haven't seen him build in probably at least like a month or two.
So Joe, what happened with that? Why did you stop building? Based on what Sasha's saying, that was like a really big passion of yours.
I don't know, I just stopped doing it.
So you're really sad right now. And it's kind of affecting all the parts of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot to sit with.
How are you sleeping?
Not well. I'm not that about 3 in the morning a lot.
Well, Sasha, tell me how you're feeling right now. I picked up on the sigh.
No, just I don't know. I just feel like even with building, like I said, he loved to build. That was one thing he's great at. And I feel like he's putting his passions aside, and he's stuck in this black hole. At this job, and of course the friends that do want to reach out, he's ignoring them, and it's just like, and I feel like I'm carrying that weight. So I'm just like, and that's probably why I go out. I don't know, maybe because I'm carrying that weight, and I'm just like, I don't want to carry that weight no more. I'm gonna go out and drink it off, party it off, and then, come home just pass out.
So you're saying that with Joe going through his really strong, intense situation, that you're also feeling the weight of that, and you're trying very hard to not let it drag you down. Sometimes in relationships, when one partner's going through something big, the other partner is also feeling effects, right? Because you guys are in a relationship, and when one dance partner changes their steps, the other dance partner has to adjust. So what are you feeling in the relationship right now? What kind of needs are you feeling met or not met?
Just, I don't know, just want him to find his passion again. Just find what he wants again so he can be happy for him. I feel like I can't be, I feel like he wants me to be happy for myself and for him, and I can't. Like, he needs to be happy for him. So, like I said, I know building was his, like, overall passion. He could be an architect, but he wants to just stay at, I don't even know what this job does anymore. I'm just like, oh my God, leave it. Like, leave.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that you feel like Joe wants you to fix him, and you know that you can't do that.
Yes.
Which that's a lot to ask out of someone. And we can't fix each other.
Yeah.
I'm a therapist, we know that.
Have you, Sasha, offered up maybe to help Joe find another job? I did hear you say earlier that you even asked him to come work, at your company, but you said that's basically not in the line of work that he currently does. Have you thought maybe, to maybe try and help him kind of find something different, maybe even in the company that he works for? Joe, is there an opportunity maybe for you to go in a different department? I know with the whole, reorganization and everything, but is there any opportunity that you possibly could do something different that may help you? Let me stop for a second and let me ask this question. I apologize, I didn't ask this question previously. When they did the whole reorg, the job that you were doing prior to the reorg, is that the job that you're still doing now, or are you doing something completely different?
A lot of my favorite parts of my job got taken away and reassigned. Because they moved it to a different department, under a different manager. It's all this politics stuff. And I can't go do anything about it.
So if I'm hearing right, the job that you used to do, that was a very fulfilling job, and now they've removed those key pieces.
I just do meaningless paperwork all day. I just write memos nobody's ever going to read. And the customer support I used to do that I loved is now in a different department, and I can't do it.
So you're feeling, one, not very validated because no one's paying attention to your work, and two, you're feeling like you're not able to help people and see progress being from your work.
So is there an opportunity for you to maybe go to a different department, or maybe even go to the department where some of your work went?
It just feels so hard to do. I feel stuck.
What makes it hard?
I don't know. It just feels like management made their decision and I'm stuck with the results.
I don't believe so.
How long were you doing that job?
5 years.
Were you the only one doing that job?
Yeah.
What would you need to take this feeling of powerlessness into feeling like you have power?
Just to be able to get some validation, or be able to have some choice in where I go.
If you had a different job where you got validation and you could see your contributions as tangible and visible, would the feelings of sadness and frustration and worthlessness dissipate?
Yeah.
So, in some ways, it feels like you're feeling disconnected and not validated at work, and then you're also feeling those same things at home, do you think you're bringing some of those feelings at work and bringing them home, or maybe they weren't there to start with?
Potentially.
Sasha, are you feeling Joe's work feelings coming into the relationship?
Yes. I feel like it's as though he blames me, and I'm like, I don't. We're two different companies, two different sides of town, and I feel almost though, because I mean, it was almost, well, I got my promotion maybe like a month or two before he, you know, the reorganization happened at his employer, and I'm like, I didn't have nothing to do with that. You know, I'm at a completely different company.
So what you said you got a promotion,
Mm-hmm.
and you seem really happy
Yes.
about it. What kind of job are you doing now?
I'm a data entry clerk. Well, I'm the executive data entry clerk for prisoners, the female prisoners. So, you know, I kind of do all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm able to interact with, of course, prisoners and everyone within that. Beforehand, I was just kind of like a secretary. You know, and like I said, I had worked in that previous job for so many years, and it kept getting passed up because they kept hiring externally. Or not externally, externally, and finally, you know, I got that position, so I love it. Of course, it was a great pay raise, and I just love what I do.
So you're getting paid well, and you're getting like intellectually stimulated,
Yes.
and you have friendships at work. So you kind of got the whole package with your job.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Joe, when you hear Sasha talk about her job, are you feeling excited and happy for her, or are there some maybe feelings of jealousy?
There's some jealousy. And I think it's true for a lot of dudes, there's a strong feeling that I gotta be the primary breadwinner, and some very serious insecurities about my wife's career going well when mine isn't.
I told you, quit and find what you like. Even when the reorganization was happening, I told you, maybe you should look for something else. I mean, it didn't help. Yes, I wasn't like looking up jobs, but I did tell you. It didn't.
So, Sasha, let me ask you a question. Based on what Joe just said about being the one, you know, he's the male in the family, he's the head of the household, and not feeling really good about being able to provide. How does that make you feel, you know, hearing that?
I mean, I know what he means, because yes, you know, most of the time he was the breadwinner, you know, and I mean, I'm not saying I make tens of thousands of dollars more than him, but I mean, I definitely, yes, one would say I'm the breadwinner because of my promotion and his, you know, his company doing their little company shift. And that's why I was telling him when everything was going on to try to find something different so that he could maintain that, you know, the breadwinner status. But it was like he just didn't want to. And again, I don't know what they did there, what they were saying, but I was letting him know, like, you know, you're better than this. And when he just kind of basically sat in it and didn't do anything, I had to keep moving my life on and keep working to, you know, warrant finances.
Joe, was there a cut in pay when they did the reorg for you? Okay, so your salary stayed the same. Okay.
So we have only a couple minutes left in this session. I think we've talked about a lot of feelings. We've put a lot of stuff out there today, but we still have a lot of work to do in the future. Do either of you guys have anything you want to share to close up the session?
You should party more.
Shots.
I guess.
I
Well,
go with my friends.
I think I maybe need to go work on my issues.
Start building.
well, thank you so much for coming, and we will see both of you next week.
Okay, thank you. you.
Thanks. Thank you.